I never had anybody say, Terry, how many yards did you throw for? Terry, how many touchdown passes did you have? Never in my 74 years old history has anyone ever said that. But they have said, hey, man, where's your Super Bowl rings? So that tells you that winning championships is easily the most important thing that you can ever accomplish as a football player. The rings are important now, obviously. I don't wear them, but they represent all the hard work you did, and you're a world champion. I donated them to Louisiana Tech. They're in a vault, a box. So it's a small school, and so athletes can come in and look at that and go, well, if he could do it, I can do it, because they'll find you anywhere. So that's what I have 3 girls, and so if they want them back, they can get them, but they're not going to get them back.
You know, when people talk about football being the ultimate team game, well, to win a Super Bowl and be the ultimate team for a particular season, to go through the grind, you know, of that 16-game season, which is 17 now, and to win the amount of playoff games you got to get to the Super Bowl, it's a grind, you know, to be able to, you know, stand there after the game. You know, I put a post out this morning about the confetti, and I was like, man, all I ever wanted was the confetti. And, you know, in order to get the confetti, you got to win the Super Bowl. And putting this ring on, to me, it really, to me, kind of solidifies, you know, my career and what I tried to get out of the game. To me, it was all about winning, all about getting to a Super Bowl and winning it. So it's everything.
I would say versus Seattle Seahawks, my very first Super Bowl that we won. That game, just from beginning to the end, I would say it was one of the best Super Bowls in Super Bowl history. We were down, we came back, and then we were down again by 2 touchdowns. We came back in the last couple minutes, and then they drove down the field, and then with that interception from Malcolm Butler, it was just so spectacular. I mean, the fans all loved the game. We ended up being on the winning side, so that's what makes it, you know, I believe one of the greatest Super Bowls ever in history too. But just overall, just being part of that experience, you know, contributing on the offensive side of the ball as well, you know, making the plays when we needed them, scoring a touchdown, and I think Danny Amendola had a touchdown as well, Julian and Brandon LaFell. So Malcolm Butler was making plays all year long. We knew that he was going to make a play eventually. It ended up being the biggest play of the whole entire year.
Having won it at a young age, so I had just turned 24. In '82, I had lived in a hotel room in Oakland. We were playing in LA. We were practicing in Oakland still. And Lyle Alzado, I was picked as his roommate. Lyle was a guy who went to the Super Bowl with Denver, failed. Went to Cleveland, failed to get to a Super Bowl again. To see Lyle in that fourth quarter as the clock's ticking down, tears rolling down his face, it didn't hit me until that time. I didn't realize. I thought, listen, I've got Lester Hayes, Mike Haynes, Ted Hendricks, Jim Plunkett, Cliff Branch. You know, we're going to go every year. We're going to win a bunch of these. I didn't know how hard it was. And to see that and see the emotion that overtook him really put it in perspective.
Going into that game, a lot of people didn't have confidence in us. They pretty much said that they're undefeated. They beat the Giants. For us, we felt like we didn't do anything special in our game plan because we were already in the playoffs. We just showed up and lined up and went man to man and man on man and see what happened, and we almost beat them. So we felt if we got back and had another opportunity, that last game of the season is what helped us beat them in the Super Bowl. I think had we not played them, we would have gone into that game thinking they've beaten everybody. This team is unstoppable. But we realized they weren't. Oh, man. Well, obviously, I mean, Eli getting out of a sack and Tyree catching the ball on his helmet, 2 of the most unlikely guys to do either of those things to do them. I think that was the point where I was like, okay, this has been a very special year. If they can do that, we're going to win the game. That was well before Plaxico caught the touchdown because those plays can end in a bad story. Just couldn't. I felt like for us, and thank goodness it didn't. Yeah, the end of it. Game was over, man. I didn't have to go out. I was so tired. We flew in, and I literally said, when they say leave it on the field, I had nothing. Every play, it was everything I ever had in me. And the first time in my 15 years, I felt like I left everything on the field. Done. And so at the end of that game, I was happy, man. Very happy. It is great. Well, the greatest memory of my life, professional life, of being here in this stadium. The confetti's falling. It's for the Giants. We beat a team that seemed to be unbeatable that year. And, yeah, I'm excited to be back. This is definitely going to be I'm going to have a smile on my face the entire week.
I don't think I ever coached a game. I'm a regular season game, college, pro, high school. I never, ever coached a game that I was as confident about winning as the first Super Bowl against Buffalo. I told our team the night before the game, I said, guys, listen, they turn the ball over too much. We don't turn the ball over. We're going to be conservative to start the game. But once they start turning it over, then we're going to open it up to Michael and Alvin and go ahead and open up the offense. And so the day of the game, I'm walking with my staff before the pregame meal. I said, guys, get ready for a ring because we're fixing to win ourselves a Super Bowl.
Keep your ring now.
Well, I got one on my hand.